Have you heard of the Lemon Squad? They're a company that does pre-sale inspections for the consumers when you're buying a car from a dealership or private individual. We decided to put them to the test and have them come out and do an inspection of one of our own vehicles that we know has issues. Curiosity can get the best of us, and I want to point out that this is not a sponsored video by Lemon Squad. My mechanic here at the store, Rich, was doing a pre-sale inspection on this 2005 Lamborghini Gallardo. Some people want to purchase it, and they wanted him to go through this thing like a fine-tooth comb to make sure that they were spending $110,000 on a good car. So with a quick Google search of looking for pre-sale inspections, there's nothing out there. There's only just articles that I found, except for the Lemon Squad. So let's put them to the test. As you can see behind me, Lemon Squad has shown up to do the inspection on this unit. Now, what you don't know about this unit and what they don't know about this unit is this vehicle has actually got a bad transmission on it. So when you run the codes on this transmission, it pulls up the P068 pressure low indicator code, which basically means that the chain is slipping on the transmission and it's going to go into limp mode. Now, as I said, we have a brand new transmission here. As you can see, this is a Nissan transmission, genuine part, with all those codes on it. It was built 2/11/22, and you can see that there we go. We have the transmission. I guess it does say remanufactured, but it's coming straight from Nissan. Regardless, we're not doing something off of eBay or a junkyard transmission or anything like that. And it's going to be really interesting to see if they find this issue. Now, he is going to drive it, so I have had it go into limp mode where it will not drive, but I've also had this vehicle go and drive perfectly fine. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what he says. So here's what's really interesting about the whole Lemon Squad thing. Less than 18 hours ago, I put in the order, and I did it after 5 p.m. intentionally just to see what's happening. So here we are before 11 a.m. and they have already showed up, and check this out right here. You can see the timestamp on there, 18 hours ago, and right here they are checking out the car. Pretty impressive to start.
And there he goes. I missed it, but he's out driving it.
And in my opinion, with him driving it like that, he's not going to find the transmission issue. So this is a true testament to the Lemon Squad. I want to know if they can find this issue. So obviously we know that CVT transmissions over 100,000 miles and anything Nissan is detrimental. So again, we bought this car correct so we can put the new transmission into it and make it a very good bulletproof car, because now we know that this vehicle's got at least another 100,000 miles on it for the next customer. Is he going to find the issue with the transmission or not? What's your guess?
I don't know. I haven't driven that car to see how it shifts and all that type of stuff.
What's your guess? Is he gonna find it or not? Throw it down in the comments section. All right, we got the Lemon Squad report back. I've already read it. I wanna share it with you as well, but I thought that I wanna show you this right here. I wanna share with you a couple things, because it is screwy with Nissans. When we have this triangle over here, it means multiple things. Now, of course, I can clear this out and the door is closed, and when I close the door, you can see that the triangle stays on. And the Lemon Squad report does show that triangle being on in a picture that is there, and I think that's very important to know when it comes time of what I'm about to show you. I have this cheap little reader here that somebody had given to me, and when we read the codes, you can see that we get a P1778 code on there, and that's really interesting. And you can Google that code and see what it says, but I like to use the 𝘊𝘳 device because this gets into more detail, and this allows me to pretty much do anything that any mechanic shop out there or any manufacturer does as well. And when you see the 𝘊𝘳 device that goes into this extreme detail, you can see the P0868 code, which basically means that the transmission is trash. So now let's go in and let me show you the actual Lemon Squad report on this Nissan Murano. All right, so here is the Lemon Squad report on our 2014 Nissan Murano. And I've got to tell you, first and foremost, they gave us like 104 pictures. See this up here? 104 4 pictures, which is impressive. So you got to remember that they did this in regards to a made-up person wanting to buy this car out of state to inspect it to see if it's a good or not good car, right? Is that a good way to say it? So this is very, very good. Now, I'm very detail-oriented in my pictures on my website, but they did some really awesome pictures, I think, on this as well. And then they come down here with the summary, and basically you can pause it and read it, but in a nutshell, something I didn't know about, but you gotta remember, we did this prior to doing our 172-point inspection, because when I was taking pictures of this car, I noticed the transmission issue and the light. I called my friends over at Mr. Transmission, and they came over and said, hey, there's this death code on it. And that's when I learned that, oh, I didn't even need Mr. Transmission to come over here. They wasted their time, but they're good friends of mine, and they've done work for me in the past. And they taught me something. So now I can just pull out my Alltel device, put it on there, and if it's got the P0868 code on there, then I know I need a new transmission, right? So, but they did state in here, right here, that the engine was overfilled, so the oil was. So that's pretty impressive. None of the buttons on the key fob work, which is accurate. I believe my Alltel device will allow me to program those, because we're going to do that as well. And only one fob starts the car. So very good detail oriented that they did ask me for both the cars. So here's the really tricky thing. The engine had plenty of power and there's no misfires or smoking. The transmission worked as designed. What do you think?
I mean, I laugh because you've had at least one time you've driven it, it worked just fine. But then the next time you drove it, it was slipping or something.
It just wasn't moving. Like I literally,
oh yeah, you had
literally
a lack of power.
Yeah, I literally floored it onto the parking lot, and I said to Rich, "This is floored." He's like, "That's floored." So that's when we called Mr. Transmission and found out. So, but they go over it, and as you saw earlier in the video, they did drive the car down the road and back, which is very good. There was no visible leaks found underside of the vehicle. I hooked up my scan tool and found no current or pending codes. Now, this is why I showed you what I showed you. This is a cheap Amazon $10, $15, $20 scan tool. I don't even know, someone gave it to me for free. And this little scan tool here said that they found no codes stored. What does it say? I hooked up my scan tool, the computer system found no current or pending codes. So maybe their scan tool doesn't find anything. I really like this, that they did go over and really find detail of everything of this car. They told you what the body seals were like. They told you what scratches were on the car. And they also told you, which is very good, that they said that, hey, the scratches are not going to show up in pictures. So, which I thought was really good. Underside shows areas of surface rust. See pictures. Surface rust was normal, so no big deal there. The headlights are worn and foggy due to oxidation. So they did go over everything and really go into great detail. And when there was an issue, they put a little triangle next to it and told you what it was. They even get into detail of cigarette use, unusual odors, which is really key when you're doing out-of-state transactions, if the floor mats were present, all of that stuff. Air filter, which we change air filter, engine oil filter, cabin air filter with all of our 172-point inspections. So, and then the key fob. So they did a really good job. But do you think Lemon Squad actually stands behind their inspections?
I would hope so.
I mean, they don't say about it online anywhere that I saw or that I read, and I didn't have any interaction with this inspector. Is this really a qualified person to inspect? Does this guy have ASC certification background? Do they just hire people just to do these inspections that pay this person very minimal from a third-party company to do it? We've experienced that in the past. We understand what CR readings do, right? We know Carvana hires their own people and they get paid per job, so they go through their condition reports extremely fast, which is why we see a 4.5 that the car is pigged out and trashed like the Equinox that we just had. So, you know, so that's the question. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to call them and ask. So what do you think it is? Do they stand behind it or do they not?
Said I hope they do.
I'm getting your answer. I'm getting your answer. So yes, they do is the answer.
No, I said I hope they do.
No, we need a definite answer.
I can't give definite.
You can't give. I'm gonna say no. What do you guys think? Let it down in the comment section because I'm gonna call them right now.
Hey, Sam, may I help you?
Hey, I had a couple quick questions. I was looking at your guys' website, and I'm looking at buying a car out of state, and I think I only have one question really. If you guys do an inspection on a car and I purchase that car based off your inspection, is there any type of warranties that come with your inspections that, 30 days down the road I get it and the transmission falls out, or anything like that, engine blows up?
We don't. There's no warranty on our service.
Okay, so you just inspect the car, tell me what it is, and it allows me to make a decision.
Correct.
Awesome. That's what I needed to know. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Boom, you were wrong.
I said hope.
No, that was a yes. You said that it did.
Whatever.
So there you have it, straight from the Lemon Squad customer service number, that they do not stand behind it. But I think this is the biggest thing to remember. This is not a video that turned out to bash Lemon Squad. I think their service is very good, and it can be used, especially if you're in California and you're wanting to buy a car in Indiana or wherever, right? You're a huge distance away. It cost $150 for me to do this, and it gave me a good insight. But ultimately, if you're inspecting a car or going to buy a car, what do?
You really want a mechanic to inspect your car.
True mechanic to inspect it.
You are worried about the mechanical aspects of the car.
Yes, because I think it is extremely important that they use a tool like the 𝘊𝘳 system to be able to look at these codes, because that little cheap thing, which is exactly what they used there, did not find these codes. That this transmission is $7,000 retail. Luckily, it's not costing me that. It's costing me about $3,000 to do. But now we have a Nissan Murano here with 104,000 miles with a brand new transmission from Nissan that someone's gonna be able to go a long time with.